Hello, this is my Torpedo Loredo trumpet case. I've had this case now for a bit over a year, and I've taken it on at least 60 gigs with me. I've taken it on tour across the United States. I've taken it on tour through Europe. I've flown with it. It's been left in the trailer. It's been thrown around in a van. It's been on stage with me. And now that I've had it for over a year, I'd like to share my thoughts about this trumpet case. So first things first about the Torpedo trumpet cases. The Loredo case means that this one is covered in the Loredo leather. The strap is pure Loredo leather, as is the shoulder strap, and it feels extremely high quality. The leather is beautiful. I've had it for over a year. It still looks great. Strap is not stretched at all. It does not feel at all like it would ever break. All of these metal fasteners, and swivels feel extremely high quality. They feel amazing. And they better feel amazing because this case on the Torpedo website is $400 at a starting price. I bought mine from Dylan Music for $350 or something, a little bit cheaper, but it's still ridiculously expensive. At that ridiculously expensive price, it doesn't come with any accessories. So if you look, there's this zipper on the side. You can zip some accessories to this that Torpedo sells. And there are these plastic little buckles on the side, one's right here, that you can clip accessories to as well. But again, for the very expensive $350+ price, does not come with any of those things. What it does come with is this shoulder strap, and if you open it up, the way these cases work is you pop open the lid, and then inside is where the horn goes, and this lid is a little storage compartment. But let me start with my conclusion, which is that if I could go back in time over a year ago, I would not buy the Torpedo Loredo trumpet case or realistically any other Torpedo trumpet case for numerous reasons. One bad thing is that this design, while it's pretty slick looking and it's very protective, it is not very practical. So the only storage that it comes with by default is in the lid. And the lid is reasonably spacious, it's not bad. So in here, here's everything I have. A mouthpiece pouch, I have my in-ear monitors, another mouthpiece pouch, 3 bottles of valve oil, and a little thing of slide grease. That's it. And this thing is packed when I put all this stuff back in it. While that is decent, and those things are the bare essentials barely fit. And most cases have at least an external pouch or an internal pouch that's larger than that. I don't have any mutes. I don't have a cleaning kit. I don't have anywhere to put sheet music. That is a limitation. And you might think to yourself, well, Torpedo sells accessories that clip on to the plastic clips or zip into this zipper that solve those problems. But those things cost more money, and in fact a lot more money, especially if you want to get it to match the Loredo aesthetic. Those things are $50, $100, $150, I think even up to $200 for some of them. That's a lot of money. And for $350 or $400, there are many cases that are half as expensive, if not a quarter as expensive, that are almost as protective as this, that have a lot more functionality. Another thing that I don't like about this case is, although it is very protective, it's very heavy. And they make lighter weight cases that would still be very protective, and in hindsight, I think that's a better move than getting this one. The reason I got the heavy one is because I am a touring musician, and oftentimes I'm not the one handling my horn. Sometimes a stagehand might take it to the stage for me, or I have to check the instrument when I'm flying. A baggage handler might toss it around somewhere, or even a band member that just is less sensitive to trumpets might have to move it somewhere. So I wanted a case where I could put my horn in and just not have to worry about it. And this case does well. But because it's so heavy, if you're wearing it on your shoulder strap or carrying it in your hand, it really does get tiring at sometimes. That combined with this plastic bottom, which I'll get to in a little bit, means that if you accidentally bang it against like your ankles or something when you're picking it up, it can really hurt. And if you're carrying it around your shoulder and you bump something, you can ding up a doorway very easily with this case. Yeah, just the weight makes it a little bit cumbersome. I'm kind of sprinkling in some good things with these bad things. So again, it's very protective, and I trust this case very much to keep my horn safe. And that's the most important thing. This plastic base is actually very useful. When you put the horn down, it stands upright on the plastic base. Here, let me show you. It just stands upright on the plastic base, and it's very sturdy. Like, I'm shaking it pretty hard and it doesn't really go anywhere. So that's good. So you can use the case as a trumpet stand. I like that. Especially if it's wet outside and you don't want to put your case on the ground. The plastic base is great because the trumpet doesn't get wet. However, here's a problem. When your trumpet is sitting on the ground, your lovely Loredo strap is now on the ground and your strap gets wet. And oftentimes that strap will pin itself under the bottom and then it's hard to put your trumpet down with one hand. It's just not a very ergonomic design, in my opinion. Lots of things require using two hands with this case. And oftentimes if you're carrying a backpack, a suit bag, your trumpet case, maybe your laptop, your hands are full, you only have one hand. And it just makes it hard to navigate, especially tight spaces with this case. Let's look inside the case again. It does come with this little sleeve to put an identifier in, which I've taken out to protect my identity on this video. But again, trumpet goes in here, and then you can just pull it out. This is my pudgy. So this is another criticism I have of the case. So this is a trumpet, but it's a little bit shorter than a typical trumpet. So there's some space left at the bottom of the case, which makes me wonder, like, is the trumpet gonna jiggle around or something like that? But the real problem is, if you look at this pinky ring, it's kind of sharp and it has these heavy bottom valve caps. This valve cluster is taller than most trumpet valve clusters because of these heavy caps. So there's a lot of pressure that I have to put on the horn to slide it into the case. And then the sharp pinky hook actually cut through the interior liner of this case after only a few months of having it. And then gradually the rip got bigger and the foam from inside the case was falling out of the lining and making a mess. That in itself is a problem, and in my opinion, indicative of a design flaw with the case, where not all trumpets fit well in it without damaging the case itself. But then the real problem came from the customer service side of things. I had this $350 case that I'd only had for a few months that was broken in a very basic way. So I contacted them and heard nothing. And then I contacted them again and heard nothing. Then I contacted them again and eventually heard from them. And they said, well, they don't actually have a warranty on these cases for this particular thing, but usually they repair them if the damage is caught within a year, which mine was. So I asked if I could send the case to them. They said, sure, but they would not cover shipping. And this is a very heavy case. So the shipping was pretty expensive, but I figured, hey, I'm gonna do it. This was an expensive case. And then I sent the case to them along with my shipping address and all the other stuff to send it back to. And after I saw the case was delivered on the tracking for the shipping, I heard nothing from them. So I emailed them asking if they've received my case, and I heard nothing from them. And then I emailed them again, and then I emailed them again, and then eventually they got back to me saying that they are taking care of it, and that it's almost done, and that they will ship it back to me when it's done. And I'm thinking to myself, great. But then they ended up shipping it back to the wrong address, not the address that I had told them to ship it to, which was a problem because I wasn't living at that address anymore. So luckily the case ended up not being stolen or something, and I got it back, and the lining is repaired, but it's just gonna rip again because I'm still putting the same trumpet in it, and I actually see it thinning a little bit. So, terrible design flaw, and in my opinion, bad customer service that does not inspire confidence in me. Yeah, because of the design flaws of the case, and just some of the things inherent to this case with the limited functionality, and the poor customer service, and the ludicrously expensive price, I would not buy this case if I were in the market, and I wish that I had not bought it the first time. I wish I had saved money and got something better than this the first time around. But there are, again, some redeeming qualities. The construction is extremely high quality for the most part. These metal brackets feel amazing. The leather is beautiful. The strap feels amazing. It's a nice looking and nice feeling case, but it's very impractical and doesn't do the job that I need it to and doesn't suit all trumpets. And for that reason, I wouldn't recommend this case to anyone. Those are my thoughts. I apologize if you're someone who owns this case and you love it and you think my comments are out of line, but I'm just trying to prevent people from making what I consider to be a mistake, the same mistake that I made, and save people some money. So yeah, that's it.